What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Wednesday, April 14th. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, let me know in the comment section who is your favorite and least favorite of my contenders for today's slate. We're rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Bradley Beal, Nikola Jokic, Christian Wood, Luka Doncic, and Devonte Graham on the outside looking in. Who will be my favorites, my top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. First up, we're going to the center spot. We're paying all the way down $3,200 BISMACK BIYOMBO. Projected for 23. The goal is 33. He's in the optimal lineup 22% of the time. Now, we don't know the status of PJ Washington yet. If he is in, this will not be that good of a play. But if he is out, BISMACK BIYOMBO got the start last night, played extended minutes, and will be just a very nice value play on today's slate. I gave him 27 minutes, assuming PJ Washington is not playing. 0.84 fantasy points per minute. And you don't get much else out of BIYOMBO. We know this at this point. 15% usage, 9.7 boards, an assist, a steal, a block. It's a matchup against Cleveland. Cleveland's not good at all, but it is slightly of a pace down spot. But really, when push comes to shove, you don't get a chance to roster starting players at $3,200 salaries all that often. Being able to grab this value from BIYOMBO is kind of a no-brainer. It's something you'll have to do as a value play. It doesn't feel great, but to be able to save salary here and reallocate that to a Luka Doncic, a Bradley Beal, it's a direction you kind of have to go. Or you can go to the Brooklyn Nets center, Nick Claxton, for $100 cheaper. $3,100 for Claxton, projected for 23. The goal's 33. He's in the optimal lineup 23% of the time. Now, we have a ton of question marks here. We don't know the status of LaMarcus Aldridge, who is out with an illness, not COVID. We don't know the status of Kyrie Irving, who is off doing, I don't know, maybe he fell off the side of the earth or something. Kevin Durant, back-to-back, probably not playing, but who knows? Who else are we missing? Blake Griffin on a back-to-back, probably not playing, but who knows? A lot of question marks up in the air for Brooklyn. If LaMarcus Aldridge does not play, I expect Nick Claxton to start and play even more minutes than he has now, probably becomes the either number 1 or number 2 contender on the slate. But if Aldridge is back, I think Claxton is just the backup center, plays 22 minutes. But he's essentially the flat minimum, and it wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility for LaMarcus Aldridge to get into a little bit of foul trouble against Philly. Joel Embiid been known to draw some fouls from time to time. So I really like the value in Nick Claxton. I like the value in the Claxton BIYOMBO combo. It gives you two guys basically at the same price, in the same sort of role, doing the same sort of thing, so you don't have to overreact and get a ton of either one of them. They both just look like perfectly reasonable values at near minimum salaries. Next up, we're getting back into the real players. We're going to Houston, point guard eligible John Wall, 8K, projected for 45. The goal is 50. He's in the optimal lineup 24% of the time. Wall gets a pace-up spot against Indiana. They've been playing significantly faster as of late and potentially could still be without Miles Turner, which I think is a really big benefit to Wall, someone who likes to get into the paint quite a bit. It's a lot easier to meet Domantas Sabonis at the rim than it is to meet Miles Turner. And they appear to just be playing him a ton of minutes whenever he's able to be on the floor. 36 minutes. I've got him at 1.26 fantasy points per minute for this matchup. That's 32% usage, 24 real points, 8 assists, 4 boards, 2 stocks. And again, like I mentioned, 2.4 possessions above their average in this nice pace-up spot against Indiana. If Turner is in, this will bring down Wall just a little bit, but I expect him to be in this top 10 all day. That 8K price tag is just a little bit too cheap for someone that can play 36 minutes a night. Now we're taking a pretty big step up in tier to number 2, JALEN McDaniels, power forward eligible, 4,700, projected for 32. The goal is 38.5. He is in the optimal lineup 35% of the time. McDaniels moved into the starting lineup about 5 games ago, and he's just playing a ton, well north of 30 minutes. And if they are shorthanded again, I've got him in for 36. That's 0.88 fantasy points per minute. Basically average usage, 16 points, 7 boards, 2 assists. You get a steal, you get a block. Now, it is a matchup against Cleveland, so it is paced down. there's not a lot of talent going on in Cleveland. Now, they are bringing back Jared Allen. They are bringing back Larry Nance, but Nance lost like 20 pounds from an illness. I can't imagine he's playing a ton of minutes. Jared Allen is coming back for the first time in 2 or 3 weeks, coming off of a concussion. These guys have to get their sea legs back, so to speak. And the way that McDaniels has been playing as of late, the role that he is getting, I have no issue whatsoever grabbing him at 4,700. Obviously, you can see that he took a monster step up over John Wall. The difference between 35% in the optimal and 24% in the optimal is massive. But neither of those guys are my number one contender. Now, before we get to that number one contender, one last reminder, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Then head on over to Twitter, follow me at Josh Engleman. You guys got me over 18,000 followers yesterday, and I couldn't be happier, but that doesn't mean we're going to stop asking for follows, guys, so I would really appreciate that help. Then head on into the comment section. I need your favorite contender, your least favorite contender, and I want you to tell me who is the contender that you think is missing from this list right now. And finally, the no-brainer number one contender of the day. It's Caleb Martin, obviously. Shooting guard, small forward eligibility, so you know that is close to my heart. Just $100 above the minimum, $3,100. Projected for 25, the goal's 33. He's in the optimal lineup 42% of the time, which is nuts on an 11-game slate. I assume he gets the start again if Terry Rozier isn't playing, and I don't expect Terry Rozier to play. I gave him 29 minutes. He could absolutely play 34, 35, 36, depending on how this game is going. But at 29, he's still my unquestioned top play, so I wanted you guys to see the value. 0.87 fantasy points per minute. He's a neutral usage guy, 21% here, 12 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, a steal and a half a block, so 2 stocks. It is that same matchup against Cleveland, but in this case, you're going to be getting a starting shooting guard that you can play in shooting guard, small forward, guard forward, and utility at $100 above the minimum. This shouldn't be controversial at all. If Caleb Martin is starting for the Charlotte Hornets tonight, he will be the number one contender, and I don't really see how he gets replaced. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Wednesday, April 14th. There's a FanDuel version of this video around here. Go check that out. Process show is in the books. We went 90 minutes breaking down all 11 games on this slate. It was going to be 12, but we pulled one from the slate. It's now just an 11-game slate. Strategy show with Laffy, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Tune into that one. We're probably going 90 minutes for it. We aren't the type of people that are taking a very short run at an 11-game slate. So that should be a fun one. And I get to gloat about beating him in our bet yesterday. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should be watching the strategy show. Then I will be on Live Before Lock tonight with Greg Ehrenberg, taking you from 6 to 7, closing out this slate. Good luck tonight, everybody. I will talk to you guys again tomorrow morning with another edition of the Contenders.